What's up, guys? Cameron, aka I'm the Crazy One here. So, another topic-based video. This one was recommended to me by fucking Reaper. So, Reaper, I appreciate you for giving me this. All the other recommendations that he gave me were pretty sick, and I'll probably end up using a lot of them. Clips Not Corny gave me a couple too that were relatively pretty good. So, while I'm out, either before my break because still haven't moved or anything and stuff yet, but I'm sick again today. I was supposed to actually still be at work for about right now. It would have been another 15 minutes, and I would have been closing up my doors. But I'm still very sick today. Still have a sore throat. Been puking here and there and stuff today, but I did pretty good today. I packed up a lot of stuff. I ended up getting rid of my couch that I didn't want anymore. Because I plan on trying to find a good, cheap, comfortable couch for my place. So that's all done, and most of my stuff's all packed up. All I got to do at some point once Saturday comes is like pack up my PS5 and pack up like my clothes and stuff. But everything else is pretty much all done. But today I will be talking about what it's like to live on your own. Kind of just talk about like pros of living on your own and like cons, and kind of just like what I like about it, don't like, whatever. Yeah. Also, I moved into my first apartment, not living on my own, but not living with parents or whatever and stuff. When I'm kind of talking about living on my own, I just mean like moving out of your parents' house. It doesn't matter if you have roommates or if you live alone like I do or whatever. But yeah, when I moved in my first apartment when I was 19 with my old buddy Tyler that I've talked about in many videos, and I loved it at first. I really did, and it's just me and him kind of grew apart and started having a lot of issues, and that's kind of one of the main reasons that me and him aren't friends anymore. Like, we were friends again for a little bit recently, but we never met up in person. He just always kind of like blew me off when I asked to hang out, made excuses like, oh yeah, I'm busy, blah blah blah, whatever and stuff. So I just cut him off again. I don't hate the dude or anything, but just shit happens. But yeah, I moved in there like right before I turned 20, and originally it was me, him, my old buddy Michael, my best friend, and I had the big bedroom because I'm the one that found the place. Since Tyler was the one kind of helping me, figure shit out for the place, I gave him the smaller bedroom, and Michael, the only reason I had him end up living with us, and he just lived in the living room, had a bed out there and TV and stuff, was because he was living with my father in my old bedroom at the time, but I kind of wanted to get him out of living with my father, so he lived with us for a little bit until him and his stupid ex-girlfriend ended up getting a place together. But yeah, it was great, just like the small like little shit, just being able to take a shower or whatever, like walk around your fucking apartment or your place butt naked, have girls over anytime, have friends over anytime, drink. When I still smoked, I could smoke in my apartment and not have to like worry about like my dad or mom or something like that if I was smoking, worry about getting kicked out or them just bitching at me about it, like, you can't fucking smoke in here and stuff. So it's like I didn't really have any rules except for the ones that me and Tyler made for each other, but like, we didn't really have too much rules for each other except respect each other and try to keep the place clean, which Tyler ended up fucking breaking both of those rules, and that's kind of why it drove us apart. Started fucking being fucking dirty, not taking the trash out, fucking not doing dishes when he was supposed to, not cleaning the bathroom, blah, 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 and not respecting me and stuff either. As I said before, yeah, I worked at a job where I worked like 5 in the morning for a while, and he would fucking have people over until like 1 in the morning, sometimes being loud, and I would get like barely any sleep, and then call into work, and it just wasn't good. But that's why I decided now, anytime I live in a place, to live on my own. I don't care. It is lonely sometimes, don't get me wrong. That is one of the cons of it. It gets lonely. Like, I'm glad that I have my cat, and my cat's great. I would, give him lots of cuddles and play with him and stuff, but my cat's a cat. He's not a human, I can't sit down and, talk to my cat. Well, I can, but he's not going to talk back. I can't play video games with him. I can't, go outside with my cat and play fucking catch with a football or play basketball with him or anything and stuff. So, human companionship gets, not having that, it does get lonely sometimes, but at the same time, the only person's rules that I'm following right now, living on my own, or now once I move in my own place, is me. But that's how I want to be. The only fucking roommates that I think I could somewhat maybe deal with would be, very sad to say it because I never want to live with my parents again, but probably my parents, maybe. Those are the only people that I could deal with and stuff because I know that they would keep the apartment clean, help me cook food and stuff like that, and treat my place or our place with respect. And most of my other friends, it doesn't matter how close with them and stuff, a lot of my friends aren't really good with cleaning. I don't mean to shit on any of these people, but my buddy Kenny, his car, and he said when he got his new car that he wasn't gonna destroy it and have trash in it, but every time we go to a concert, he has to, clean out his car because there's a bunch of trash, in the front seat and the back and everything just for this concert. When we had to stop over at a Quick Trip to throw out 2 bags of fucking just bottles and pop cans and everything and stuff that he had in the front seat and stuff. And even there was a couple more on there even afterwards, and I just had to kind of just take them and throw them away and stuff. I get it, I'm a relatively clean person, but not everyone is. But that's just another reason why when I lived with Tyler, it didn't work out because he was just fucking just nasty and disgusting and dirty. Wouldn't want to clean up his place or clean up anything. So, but yeah, I'm ready to move out of my apartment this Saturday. I really am moving to a bigger place, but at the same time, yeah, it's just it does get lonely. I know recently I was just talking to a girl that I met on Bumble. I was talking to her for about a week or something like that, and I was really starting to like this girl, and we hung out once, and she seemed like she was pretty cool. And then just out of nowhere, she ended up cutting me out. She's or cutting me off. She's like, "Oh, I think that you're moving faster than I am and stuff. We could still be friends if you want, but we're not going to talk romantically anymore." I'm like, if I was moving too fast for you, you could have just been honest and told me to slow down instead of just cutting me off romantically. I told her I was looking forward to hanging out, more in the future and dating. I was we got along well, we connected pretty well, and she pretty much just cut me off. So I ended up fucking just blocking her after that. It was what the fuck is up with women these days? I don't do anything wrong. When I'm talking to any of these girls, I just, try to be nice to them and try to take it slow myself because I've went too fast in a relationship. When I dated one of my exes, the one that got me fucking arrested and stuff, the first time that me and her both ended up hanging out at my place, she kept begging me to fuck her even though I didn't want to. I'm we just it's the second time we've ever hung out in person. It's the first time that we've hung out like this. Last time we hung out, it was at a party at Arson's place. It's yeah, don't, it's I want to kind of get to know you a little bit before we fuck, but we ended up doing it anyway. And obviously our relationship went to shit. She fucking, physically abused me and shit. Fucking terrible. But yeah, it does get lonely, but that's why I try to hang out with people as much as I possibly can. But now that I'm going to be moving out of my building, I'm not going to have my buddy Sean, I'm not going to be in the same building as him anymore. It's going to be a little bit harder, but at the same time, I will be closer to my cousin Austin, so I can hang out with my cousin more often because I don't really see him a whole lot much anymore because it's not like he lives super far away from me. He only lives 10 minutes away, but we're just getting out of like winter time and stuff right now. Like recently it's been in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, so it hasn't been too bad, but it's like it's still just kind of like on and off, kind of just like weird weather and shit. And some days it's just like pouring down rain, and I can drive in the rain and stuff. I would rather do that than drive in a blizzard or snow, but rather just kind of stay home when it's shitty and just do my own thing, play video games, make YouTube videos, fucking watch YouTube, just chill, whatever. But yeah, I know this summer, um, especially like once I heal up from my surgery, I'm gonna try to go outside a lot more this summer and like longboard, go on hikes, take walks, do whatever instead of just sitting inside on my ass all the time. I really want to start exercising more and just be less lazy because, yeah, talking about the loneliness of living on your own and living alone, it gets very boring too. So it's like, it's why, for a while and stuff until, I stopped drinking about a month ago. Anytime I was just bored, like if none of my buddies, wanted to get on, like hopping on PlayStation Party, or like Sean was fucking out of town, or even if he wasn't out of town, but he was like, talking to his wife or to, playing fucking, Fortnite or something like that and didn't want to come down and hang out with me, I would just sit around and drink. But when you sit around, you're just fucking depressed and bored. And drinking on your own, it just really like fucks your mind up. But yeah, like I said, at the same time, I do really love living on my own. I follow my own rules. I could pretty much do whatever I want. I can bring any girl that I want over here anytime and meet them or whatever and hang out with them. I can have, my friends over whenever I want, That's why, especially like me and Sean live in the same building. There's been some times where Sean's come down here at 10, 11 o'clock at night and we just keep talking, gaming, and doing whatever. Sean has fucking stayed here until like 3:30 in the morning sometimes. I look down, I'm like, holy shit, man, it's almost 4 in the morning. I'm like, go back upstairs so we can fucking sleep. And then he ends up staying up until like 7 in the morning after that because he was just already up and stuff too, and probably won't be doing that as much at my new place, but I'm still gonna try to hang out with people as much as I can. But yeah, I'm really gonna try to continue being on the YouTube grind and stuff too, and make a lot more of these topic-based videos because it's been a while since I've done these. That's why I asked people to like give me some stuff to talk about because I kind of started running out of ideas for a little bit. But this is going to be like the perfect thing to do and make content-wise when I'm in my surgery. That and gaming videos because I'm not going to be able to make vocal covers or anything that's like, takes any like actual physical work. So it's not going to hurt me much to just sit or lay in bed like I literally am right now with the controller on my chest and talk to you guys about a topic or whatever and stuff. But yeah, it's not everyone I think can live on their own and stuff too. There's a lot of my friends that got their own place either now or in the past, and dude, their place was just fucking demolished. It was like super dirty. There's actually this person that lives in my apartment building, and he does, have some disabilities. He's autistic and everything and stuff, but dude, his apartment is just so disgusting. Like, he has just like trash bags piling up and all this other shit that he needs, like, all this like fucking cardboard and recycling stuff that he just has in this like wheelbarrow thing that he like needs to take down to like the trash bin but doesn't do it in the end. Just has so many dishes just piling up in a sink, and this place just like smells just like fucking trash and shit because he's not cleaning and stuff, and it's fucking disgusting. I don't think like, I get, like I try to cut him some slack because, he has disabilities, but at the same time, I know I'm not autistic or anything, but I have disabilities too. I always do my dishes. I fucking vacuum my apartment fucking use my Swiffer and use the Swiffer in my bathroom or in my kitchen when it needs to be done. I wipe down my fucking, counters, every week, clean my fucking toilet every week. I make sure that my place looks clean. And it's one thing that I've been having to do like the past like week or so. Like today, after I, packed up a bunch of my shit to move, I ended up like wiping down my counters. I ended up, wiping down all of the cupboards and stuff like that to get like dust outside of it. If I can clean my cat's litter box and stuff earlier, wipe down my toilets and the counter in the bathroom, and even wipe down the bathtub a little bit and stuff before I go. Probably really the main last things I'm going to have to do here before, or once I move everything out, is vacuum again, shampoo my carpets, because where I'm living out right now is pretty much all carpet. Use my Swiffer stain or something like that in the bathroom and the kitchen again. Wipe down the counters and clean my stove. And that's pretty much it. I've pretty much done everything in my place, like cleaning wise and stuff, which is pretty nice. I'm glad that I ended up getting that stuff done. But some people should not live on their own and stuff. And when I moved in here and I was going to be living on my own, like not with a roommate or anything like I did with Tyler, I was kind of scared. I'm like, I can't cook that well. I just don't know like how I'm going to, do this. But I've been living here now since, when did I move in here? When did I move in here? October of 2022, I moved in here. And it's about to be May of 2025. So it's been 2.5 years or so since I've been living here. And now I'm going to move into another apartment on my own, a bigger place. But I'm going to live where I'm moving now as long as I possibly can. I think the only way I would ever move again is if my dad ends up moving out of his trailer like he talks about, and if I can afford to take his trailer over like he wants me to, that's probably the only time I'd ever move. But if I end up doing that, I'm going to take over his trailer and live there the rest of my life. Maybe see, if someone I know maybe would want to like live in one of the other rooms and stuff like that and help out with rent and everything and shit. But otherwise, I'd kind of just do what my dad's doing right now. And if I'm able to, just take over the trailer and live there the rest of my life until I fucking die or something. But I don't know. I love living on my own though. It's nice. I've changed a lot since I've moved in here. It's good. When I moved in here, I was still kind of sober actually, because when I was living at my mom's, I stopped smoking weed shortly after I moved in there, because that's when I found out that I was allergic to THC. So I stopped smoking weed for a bit, and then right around that time, I quit cigarettes and stuff too. And I really didn't drink much when I lived at my mom's, because until like a month or two before I moved on to my mom's, like her and my stepdad didn't drink at all. And then they kind of started having a couple drinks here and there. So they told me, oh, as long as you're not fucking drinking all the time, you can drink occasionally. So I started drinking here and there with them, but it wasn't a lot. I didn't really get too drunk because I didn't want to be like embarrassed around them. There was a couple times we all got pretty fucking hammered together, and it was a good time. But yeah, I started drinking a lot more when I came here. I remember like all the time, any like time my friends came over, I would have like a big ass bottle of rum or something like that in my fridge. Just because, I was living on my own. I'm like, nobody can tell me I can't fucking drink. But I was drinking all the time, like when I was not working, and around that time, sometimes I was only working 3 hours a week. Literally 3 hours a fucking week sometimes at Papa Murphy's before they finally fired me. So yeah, I was working 1 3-hour shift. I was working like 5 to 8 sometimes or something at my job, or like 4 to 7 or some stupid bullshit shift. And it just sucked. So I had like, fucking 6 days to just fuck off and do nothing. Sadly, that's kind of how it's going to be this week. I was supposed to work, like I said, tonight, 4 to 9, but I ended up, I'm still sick. But I am going to work tomorrow and work at 4 to 9. But then I have the rest of the week off until next Monday, and I think I work next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. So like 15 hours or something like that, and then I get surgery next Thursday. But yeah, no, I was drinking a lot when I moved in here and stuff, and yeah, I just cut out the alcohol, like I said, about a month ago. And for a little bit, I was smoking weed when I lived here, but not actual weed. I was just smoking like Delta 8 here and there, like cigarettes and stuff. But then that's the THC from it started getting me sick again, so I cut that out. And then yeah, it's been like 2 months or so now, or yeah, about like 2 months, close to it now, since I cut out vaping. But it's been about 3 months now since I cut out nicotine. Because the last vape that I got was beginning of last month when I went to the Disturbed concert, but I got a no nicotine vape, a zero nicotine vape, just because I knew everyone around me was going to be like, fucking smoking weed, hitting their vapes and stuff around me. So I'm like, I just want to have a zero nicotine vape to kind of fit in. And whenever I see someone else vaping and stuff, I can just take it out and hit mine and kind of get a little satisfaction, from it. But I ran out of that after 2 weeks. And ever since, I was like, not getting another vape, especially a zero nicotine one again. I'm like, what's the point? It's not doing anything for me, really. So, yeah. But I'm going to end the video there. I'm kind of just rambling on about a bunch of different things. But myself, I personally love living on my own.